So here we are all together to commemorate what is truly, as folks have referred to, a milestone in the ongoing growth of this institution, designation as a Carnegie Doctoral University High Research Activity, or R2 in the jargon. The classification places Marshall among the top 6% of colleges and universities in the nation and is the second highest ranking an institution can receive from the Carnegie classification. How about that for little old Marshall? The last time these listings came out a few years ago, we were classified as an M1 master's colleges and university with larger programs. This time we jumped 2 levels, not 1, but 2. So how did we do this? It was with a lot of hard work. And as we were talking to one of the former deans, it was a lot of little steps along the way. The Carnegie criteria take into account the number of research awards an institution gets, as well as how many dissertation-based doctoral programs it has. We have increased in both categories over the past couple of years, and you'll hear in a minute from President Gilbert, we're continuing to push forward. Our attainment of this R2 classification recognizes the significant accomplishments of the university in research and postgraduate education. It reflects the hard work and dedication of the faculty to education and scholarship, and reflects the continued growth in external grant support for Marshall's programs in science, the fine arts, and the liberal arts, education, and economic development. With all of that said, I'd like to ask all the Marshall researchers and graduate educators in the room, faculty, students, and otherwise, to stand and be recognized. It is all of you who have made this possible. These amazing people who have made this university-wide accomplishment possible. It's a fine group of folks. They work very hard at it, and I am very proud to be associated with all of you. It's now my pleasure to introduce Mike Farrell, the chairman of the West Virginia Higher Education Policy Commission. Chairman Farrell, the founding member of the Huntington law firm Farrell, White & Legg, is a Marshall graduate himself. He was a student body president and even served as Marco the mascot during his time as an undergraduate. And I hope you will all recognize Marco today, dressed in his lab coat for the first time. Mike also served Marshall as interim president in 2005, as a member of the Board of Governors for 11 years, and also served Marshall through the Alumni Board of Directors. Mike, thank you for being here.
We're in a hall that my friend Art Weisberg and his family provided to us. A man who had great vision and great interest in the success of Marshall University. When I was student body president in 1967, Stuart Smith, the man for whom the hall across the street is named, invited me to be the first student in the presidential cabinet. If we had thought in 1967 that I would be here today, or we would be here today in this status, it would have been a great shock, even though those were expectations that we harbored, but there were those who said, it won't be done, it can't be done. And I give credit to President Gilbert, John Maher, to the deans, to the students, that you did not let those who wanted to define our expectations as something much lower than we've achieved. The state of West Virginia needs Marshall University to be strong. It needs it to be a leader. It needs it to stand up and be counted. And at the Higher Education Policy Commission, we are absolutely committed to doing what we have to do from a interaction and support of the legislature to bring the message of higher education, including research, to that body so that they recognize who we are. The money that comes into this community, this county, this part of the state, is directly attributable to what you do. In those lonely hours in the lab at night, when you say, is this worth it? Let me tell you from the perch that I'm privileged to have now, yes it is, and we appreciate it. The Higher Education Policy Commission thanks you and salutes you for this hard work. Thank you very, very much.
Well, our next speaker is President Jerry Gilbert, and he knows research. He also knows higher education. he knows me too well, so I'm just going to keep quiet about this stuff. Since Jerry joined us in early 2016 as president, he has been pushing all of us, students, faculty, staff, and administrators, to achieve the full potential of our beloved, achieve the full potential of our beloved institution, to do more for our students and community, and to accomplish more. I was trying to make it through this whole damn thing without crying. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. And his faith in us is having a big impact. Exciting things are happening, and we are actualizing that potential. We've become more involved in our communities. We've become more committed to justice and equality. We have become more dedicated to pursuing excellence in scholarship, as shown by the milestone that we're celebrating here today. Today's event was his idea, to thank and recognize those researchers, mentors, and students who do the hard work that brought us to this point. I'm pleased to welcome President Jerry Gilbert to the podium.
Thank you, John. I'm very touched that you got choked up. I'm not sure I'm going to. I'm too happy, I think, to get choked up. I want to tell you how excited I am that all of you are here today. It's great to be out on a day like today and celebrate such a great thing for Marshall University. I want to reiterate what John said about our appreciation to Commissioner Kent Leonard and also to Executive Director Mike Rainey for their attendance here today. It means a lot to us. We very much appreciate that. Appreciate everyone who's here today. Achieving R2 status is a tremendous recognition for Marshall University and our research programs. First and foremost, I want to say that this designation is a tribute to the hard work of our faculty. It's our faculty that have brought us to this point. As many of you know, I am from a research faculty background myself, and I know where you've been. I know what it's like to toil in the laboratory, in the research lab, trying to balance the teaching, the research, and the service. It's not easy, and it's harder today than it was when I was doing it. So I know where you have been, and I appreciate what you do. I want to thank each and every one of our researchers who are here today for your contributions to help us getting to this point and to this moment. We are proud of the continued success of our programs and also Marshall University as a whole. Increasing our research activity has been one of my goals since first coming here at Marshall, and it continues to be a priority. Over the past 2.5 years, Marshall University's research expenditures have increased 35%, from $23 million to $31 million, and we are expected to climb even higher in the future. External grant support for Marshall's research currently includes funding from the National Institutes of Health. And let me tell you, I've been in that game, and it doesn't get any better than that. Also, the National Science Foundation, also very difficult to get, and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and many, many more. Another goal of mine has been to increase the number of doctoral programs that we have at the university, and we're doing that too. Just a few weeks ago, the Board of Governors approved the planning process for a new doctoral program of business administration in our College of Business. So we are, in fact, achieving increased results as we move forward, and I'm very proud of it. So I want to thank again our researchers for making this new Carnegie designation possible for us. We're going to be going great places together, and I appreciate all that you do in your scholarship every day. I also want to thank and acknowledge Vice President John Maher as our VP for Research and Provost Jaime Taylor, as well as our deans. The leadership that they're providing is helping us move forward in a very dynamic and a very rapid way, and I want to thank all of them for their contributions. So let's go on to the plaque unveiling. John, I think we're ready for that. Let's move to the next point here.